You think you've moved on. The memories don't visit you every day anymore. You no longer cry when you think about it. You've built new routines, met new people, and even learned to smile again. But now and then, a smell, a sound, a random place, and suddenly your heart feels heavy again. You don't understand why. It's like your past still whispers your name, even when you've done everything to forget it. And that's the truth most people never realize. Your past doesn't disappear just because time has passed. It hides. It buries itself in silence. It lives not in your memory, but in the way you react, the way you love, the way you fear. You think you've escaped, but your past is not something you walk away from. It's something that walks within you. The mind is not designed to forget. It's designed to protect. And that's why even years later, when you face something that reminds you of what once hurt you, your body responds before your thoughts do. Your pulse quickens. Your chest tightens. Your mind replays old emotions, not to torture you, but to warn you, this feels familiar. This once hurt us. That's how the past still controls you, not through memory, but through your nervous system, through patterns you didn't choose consciously. You see, we think healing means erasing pain, but true healing is about understanding the pain. Your past experiences are not files in a cabinet. They are codes written deep in your subconscious, defining how you interpret life today. If you were once abandoned, you might crave closeness yet fear intimacy. If you were once betrayed, you might promise yourself you'll never be that vulnerable again. If you were once unseen, you might spend your whole life trying to prove your worth. You don't notice it, but your past decides the tone of your voice, the walls you build, and the love you reject. We all carry versions of ourselves that never got closure. The child who was ignored, the lover who was left without explanation, the dreamer who failed when everyone was watching. They live inside us like quiet ghosts, waiting for us to finally turn back and say, I see you. I understand now. Until then, they keep controlling us, not out of malice, but out of fear that if we forget them, we might repeat the same pain. Time does not heal all wounds. It only buries them. And buried wounds turn into habits. Habits of thought, habits of emotion, habits of avoidance. That's why you still pull away when someone tries to love you. That's why you still hesitate to chase your dreams. That's why you still overthink what people think of you. You don't realize it, but you're not reacting to this moment. You're reacting to every moment that came before it. The truth is, you never moved on. You simply moved forward. And there's a difference. Moving on is what the world tells you to do. Moving forward is what your mind learns to simulate. But emotionally, you're still there, standing in that same room of your memory, trying to understand why it all happened. We grow older, but the inner child stays the same age it was when the pain began. That's why a small rejection still hurts like you're 15 again. That's why one harsh word can still collapse your confidence. Because that wounded version of you never got the chance to grow up. It froze in the moment it was hurt. So even when you build a new life, your decisions are still filtered through the old pain. You might call it instinct or intuition, but often it's just your past trying to protect you from itself. It tells you to stay away from love because love once broke you. It tells you to stay quiet because your voice was once ignored. It tells you to stay strong, even when what you really need is to break down and cry. You confuse survival for strength. You confuse numbness for healing. You confuse avoidance with peace. But that's not freedom. That's just emotional conditioning. And the cruel part? The more you run from your past, the stronger its grip becomes. Because whatever you resist, your mind interprets it as a threat. And anything your mind sees as a threat It will keep watching forever. That's why ignoring your past doesn't make it disappear. It just buries it deeper into your subconscious, where it quietly controls your choices. Your past is like a shadow. You can't destroy it. You can only walk with it until the light makes it relevant. The reason you still feel controlled by your past, it's not because you're weak. It's because your mind is loyal. It's loyal to your survival. It remembers what hurt you, so it can make sure you never go through it again. But in trying to protect you, it sometimes ends up imprisoning you. The pain that once saved you now stops you from living fully. Most people believe the past lives in their memories, but the truth is, your past lives in your nervous system. Every emotion you felt intensely once, your body recorded it, like an imprint burned into your subconscious. That's why even when you can't recall the details, you still remember the feeling. You might forget what someone said, but your body remembers how it felt. That's how emotional memory works. It's not a photograph in your mind. It's a vibration in your system. The human brain has two languages, logic and emotion. Logic helps you understand what happened. Emotion helps you survive it. And when those two are out of sync, you move on mentally, but stay stuck emotionally. You tell yourself, it's over, but your body whispers, we're still there. This is why you might find yourself repeating the same kind of relationships, attracting the same kind of pain, or sabotaging the same kind of opportunities. It's not that you're unlucky. It's your subconscious mind is trying to recreate familiar pain so that this time it can finally rewrite the ending. That's what psychologists call the repetition compulsion. Your mind keeps dragging you into similar situations because deep down, it's hoping to heal what was once broken. It's not cruelty. It's your inner self asking for resolution. Have you ever wondered why some songs feel like heartbreak, even if you've never heard them before? Why do some places make you feel safe, and others make you uneasy for no reason? That's not a coincidence. That's emotional coding. Every experience you've ever lived through has programmed your sense of safety and danger. And now, your mind filters the world through that invisible code. So when something resembles your past, a tone of voice, a glance, a silence, your body reacts instantly because to the subconscious, time doesn't exist. Only memory does. This is the cruel irony. The same mind that protects you from pain. It is the one that keeps you trapped in it. You built walls around yourself for safety, but over time, those walls became your prison. You call it standards. You call it being careful. But sometimes it's just fear wearing a sophisticated mask. You don't trust easily. You don't open up. You don't let people close. And you convince yourself it's maturity, when really, it's memory. Memory pretending to be wisdom. It's not your fault. You learned this from experience. You learned that love could hurt. You learned that promises could break. You learned that being vulnerable meant being wounded. So you rewired yourself to never feel that powerless again. But in protecting yourself from pain, you also protect yourself from connection. And that's how the past still controls you. Not as a ghost haunting your thoughts, but as a pattern shaping your choices. Let's look at how your subconscious works. It's like an old computer. It doesn't care what's good or bad. It only repeats what it knows. If chaos feels familiar, you'll seek chaos. If love feels unsafe, you'll run from love. If rejection wants to find you, you'll unconsciously chase situations that prove it right. Because the subconscious doesn't seek happiness. It seeks familiarity. To it, familiar equals safe. So if pain is what's familiar, pain is what feels safe. That's why healing feels uncomfortable. Because peace feels like something new. When people say, why do I always end up in the same kind of mess? It's not bad luck. It's programming. The mind returns to what it understands. Even if it hurts, it's like a song stuck on repeat, until you finally stop and listen to its lyrics. You might think ignoring the past is a strength. You might think never looking back is healing, but that's denial disguised as courage. True courage is turning around, facing the ruins, and saying, yes, this happened to me. Yes, it changed me. But I'm no longer afraid to remember, because what you face, you free. What you avoid, you become. Your past doesn't control you because it's powerful. It controls you because it's unresolved. Imagine carrying a bag of stones you never unpacked. Over time, you forget what's inside. You just know it's heavy. That's your emotional baggage. And every relationship, every challenge, every new beginning feels heavier than it should, because you're still carrying what should have been laid to rest. The mind heals through awareness. Awareness is the light that burns the fog. When you finally see your patterns for what they are, they start to lose control. You begin to notice, oh, that's not intuition. That's fear. Oh, that's not love. That's attachment. Oh, that's not peace. That's avoidance. And with every realization, you pull another root out of the ground. That's how transformation starts. Not through forgetting the past, but through understanding it. Sometimes, healing isn't about becoming someone new. It's about remembering who you were before the world changed you, before the pain made you guarded, before the loss made you silent, before the betrayal made you doubt your own worth. Healing is remembering your own truth and slowly peeling away the layers of protection you built to survive, because the person you were before the pain is still inside you, waiting patiently to return. Your past still controls you, because you haven't yet learned how to thank it. And until you do, you'll keep fighting it. But once you thank your pain for what it taught you, it loses its grip. You begin to realize it was never there to destroy you. It was there to shape you. There comes a day when you stop running, when you stop blaming the world, your parents, your lovers, your failures. When you finally realize it was never about erasing the past. It was about making peace with it. Healing doesn't happen when you forget what happened. Healing begins when you can remember, and it no longer controls your heartbeat. You stop replaying the scene. You stop rewriting the story. You simply accept, yes, it happened. It hurt, but it also made me who I am. That's the quiet miracle of healing. It doesn't erase your scars. It changes what they mean. You start to understand that your past was not your punishment. It was your teacher. It taught you what kind of love you deserve. It taught you what silence feels like when people stop understanding you. It taught you that not everyone you lose is a loss. Pain has always been your greatest professor. You just didn't know you were in the classroom. When you truly begin to heal, something subtle happens. The memories remain, but they lose their poison. You remember, but you don't relive. You talk about it, but your voice no longer shakes. That's not indifference. That's evolution. Your wounds become wisdom. Your scars become proof of survival, and your story becomes someone else's light. The mind holds on to pain because it doesn't know what to do with it. It thinks, if I let go, maybe it'll happen again. But the truth is, holding on doesn't protect you. It just keeps you in the past. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting. It means trusting that what hurt you will not hurt you again, because now you're aware. Awareness is what transforms memory into strength, pain into perspective, fear into understanding. You don't need to forgive overnight. You don't need to move on just because the world says so. Healing is not linear. It's not a race. Some days you'll feel like you let go, and the next day it all comes flooding back. That's okay. Every time you face the pain and don't run, you teach your mind a new lesson. This is safe now. We can survive this. We can feel and still be okay. That's how the control breaks. Not by fighting the past, but by feeling it without fear. You might think strength means not crying, but true strength is crying and still believing in life. You might think peace means forgetting, but real peace means remembering without bitterness. It's not about getting over it. It's about integrating it, taking what broke you, and using it to build yourself into someone unshakable. Because the moment you stop hating your past, you stop being its prisoner. Warmer tone reassurance. And here's something most people never realize. You don't heal the past by fixing it. You heal the past by living a better present. Every time you choose kindness over anger, patience over fear, love over avoidance, you rewrite the past a little. You send a message back in time to that broken version of you. We made it. We're safe now. And somehow, that message echoes through your soul and mends the parts of you that time could not reach. You spent years being loyal to your pain. Now, it's time to be loyal to your healing. You've proven you can survive darkness. Now prove you can handle peace. Don't let your trauma become your identity. Let it become your initiation. You are not the things that happened to you. You are the awareness that grew from them. Sometimes, the people who hurt you were just passing on their own pain. They didn't know better. They were trying to survive, just like you. That doesn't excuse them, but it helps you understand them. And understanding is the bridge between pain and peace. Because forgiveness is not saying it was okay. Forgiveness is saying, I refuse to carry this anymore. It's setting yourself free from a story that no longer deserves to define you. One day, you'll look back and realize that your hardest chapters were simply the training grounds for your wisdom. You'll smile and think, if I hadn't been broken there, I wouldn't have become this strong here. The storm that once blinded you, it was also the wind that cleared your path. Your past didn't hold you back. It prepared you. So when the past comes knocking, don't hide. Open the door. Welcome it in. Listen to what it's trying to tell you, and then gently show it the way out. Because you don't owe your pain another minute of your life. You owe yourself the freedom to live without it. And here's the most beautiful part. Once you heal, your presence heals others too. Your calm becomes contagious. Your silence becomes powerful. Your story becomes proof that pain doesn't last forever. People will listen to you and feel hope again because you survived what they're still afraid of. That's the purpose of your past. Not to punish you, but to prepare you to be the light for someone else lost in the dark. So no, your past no longer controls you. It shaped you. It built you, but it does not define you. You've outgrown the version of yourself that needed to hold on. Now it's time to live, not as a prisoner of what was, but as the author of what will be. Because the moment you choose healing over history, the past stops being your cage and becomes your greatest teacher. And that is the moment you are finally free.